And a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second last episode of 2025 for Tassie Rules, Tasmania's local footy show. Great to have your company. A huge show coming up tonight. We've got plenty of guests. We're going to look at the SFL Grand Finals coming up this weekend, also the NTFA Grand Finals. We'll have the President, Peter Gutwin, joining us as well, and a special guest from the Claremont women's team who are going to be in action in the Grand Final as well this weekend. But to get us all underway, there was a big grand final played last weekend at Wivenhoe in the Darwin Football Association. We're going to show you some highlights now as we just reflect on that, because a big congratulations goes to South Burnie, who took out the Darwin Football Association grand final last Saturday at Wivenhoe. Look at the crowd there, huge crowd rocking up to that one just there in Burnie. They won by 56 points, 16-11, 107 to Queenstown, 7-9, 51. Rowan Baldock, he had a great game. He kicked 6 for the Hawks. Zane Murphy kicked 3. And it was a picture-perfect day. In the reserves, well, it was Yolla who took out the premiership. They won by 32 points over Queenstown, 11-10, 76 to 6-8, 44. And you can see the beautiful ground there. Very sunny day at Wivenhoe. And as I said, a big crowd. So fantastic stuff there by everyone supporting the Darwin Football Association. Speaking of which, it's a big day coming up at Ulverston this Saturday because the Premiers are going to be playing in the Northwest Premiers Country Cup. So this is the Premiers in the Darwin Football Association. So as we can see there, we've got Yolla. They'll be in action against NWFA Reserves Premiers Wesley Vale. And then the seniors, South Burnie, are going to be up against East Ulverston. And there he is. Razor Ray Chamberlain is going to be one of the umpires on Saturday. How good's that to have the great man down here in Tassie? And it is a great day that will be at Ulverston on Saturday. Speaking of the Northwest Coast, it is the NWFL preliminary finals coming up at West Park in Burnie. And there are all the games coming up this Saturday. We've got the Colts at 9 o'clock. Between Penguin and Latrobe. Then the women, Penguin will meet Ulverston. The winner is going to take on Wynyard in next Saturday's grand final after the Cats upset Penguin in a real thriller last week by 5 points. Development League will see Ulverston taking on Burnie, and then at 2:20, the senior men, Ulverston versus Wynyard. They undefeated Devonport. Well, they are awaiting the winner of this game. Now, Ulverston and Wynyard have had some great clashes this season, actually. They had a draw in round 9. Then the Cats won by 5 points in round 14 before the Robins had a convincing win in the qualifying final a fortnight ago. So preliminary final and grand final coming up next Saturday. That will be at the beautiful Latrobe Oval. So that is a wrap on the NWFL. We're going to turn our attention to Club in Focus next. It's Signet who are in action in a big SFL Community League grand final coming up this weekend. That's next.
For 30 years, DLM Machinery has kept Tasmania's construction industry moving. As the sole Tasmanian distributors of Cabelco, ASV Positrax and Merlot telehandlers, we offer trusted sales, parts and service with locations in Launceston and Hobart. From excavators to telehandlers, routine maintenance to field repairs, our skilled team has you covered wherever the job takes you. DLM Machinery. Local, reliable, ready when you need us. Get in touch today.
Welcome back to Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show with thanks to Harrison Agents. Time now for our Club in Focus. Well, ahead of the SFL Community League Grand Final coming up this Saturday at North Hobart Oval, we thought we'd focus on the Signet Football Club. They will feature in all 3 men's grades this weekend. They have been a very successful club for a number of years. And Lockie Watt is the senior men's coach, and he's been good enough to join us now. G'day, Lockie. Nice to have you with us on the show.
Yeah, g'day, Rick. Pleasure being on. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's been a big year, but you were announced almost a couple of years ago now as the senior coach for the side. Since then, you've only lost one match, which came in round 12 last year against Huonville. It's a pretty special group, isn't it? I mean, you've built so much team success that you were a part of as well, and now as a coach. Tell us about Signet. What is making this club tick?
Yeah, it's a pretty special group. I moved down from Kingborough probably, I think it was about 5-6 years ago now, so end of the 2020 season. And the thing that's just really made me love it so much is just the community aspect of the club.
Mm.
So obviously, being a real country town, the population's not actually huge and in a regional area, but it's just a community club. Everyone embraces it. You get people from all around the community, whether it be the local pub owner, the local butcher owner, but everyone gets around and supports the club, and I think that's what makes a club like Signet so great.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, it's no doubt many of them are going to actually be at North Hobart on Saturday cheering you on. It's a good segue into showing the schedule for the SFL Community League Grand Final coming up this Saturday, because you are going to partake in plenty of them. We've got the Under-18 Grand Final, of course, first at 9 a.m. Where the Southern Storm are taking on Huonville. Then it's the Reserves Grand Final where Signet are playing Huonville. We have the Women's Grand Final, which we will preview a little bit later in the show. But then at 3:15, you'll be taking on Huonville. Lockie, now Signet are undefeated this season. You're playing Huonville, but you've beaten them 4 times this year, but all 4 have been by under 5 goals, and most recently in the second semi by 14 points, and it was just a goal back in round 9. So even though you're undefeated for the season, I dare say you are really going to have to be on guard on Saturday, because this won't be an easy game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the ladder hasn't really done the closeness of the competition justice this year, and we know full well it's going to take our absolute best to beat Huonville on Saturday. They're a quality side. They've had a lot of injuries throughout the year, and
Yep.
we've come away with a few wins against them so far. But by all means, we're going to have to be at our best to come away with a win.
And it's obviously Footy headquarters, beautiful ground, traditional ground at North Hobart Oval. It's going to be looking a picture. Great representation for your men and women this year too, being acknowledged in the SFL Teams of the Year. We'll have a look at the men's one first, and congratulations to yourself too, Lockie, on being announced as the senior coach. But Luke Ashland, Lockie Griggs, Joseph Doreen and Will Polly, who was named vice-captain, part of the Team of the Year. You must be very proud of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those boys and also the women from our women's side that have made the team as well have all had fantastic seasons. And to only have 4 people in the team of the year when we've had such a good season is probably a testament to how even our group is as
Yep.
well. So probably a few blokes who were quite stiff, but those 4 in particular have had just absolutely phenomenal seasons, and yeah, truly deserve those spots in those sides.
And well done also. We'll show the women's team of the year, because that features a number of players from Signet as well, with Hayley Kluger, Abby Jones, Georgie Jones, as well as Amy Sharp and Stacey Fox. So 5 there as part of that team of the year as well. I just want to finish, Lockie, on the volunteers, because they are hard to get, and they play a significant role in the clubs. How significant a role have you seen, because you've been there now for a few years, the role that they play with the Signet Football Club? How important and special are they?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and I'm sure most footy clubs in the state or around the country really have the same sort of setup. But the volunteers are what make the club go around. And you look at the people that come in and make your dinner on a Thursday night, to the people that are there from the first bounce on Saturday, all the gatekeepers. But yeah, it takes a mountain of work to keep the football club going. And the volunteers we've got down at Signet are just about the best in the business. And yeah, obviously they are a big part of the way that the sides can go out on Saturday and perform and continue performing at a high level.
What's your favourite meal on a Thursday night down there, Lockie? What's your go-to dish?
Nothing better than a schnitzel and chips, I reckon. Schnitzel and
Magnificent.
gravy with a bit of chips. You
Oh,
can't go wrong with that.
Geez, I should be down there tonight, not up in Launceston, by the sounds of it. Golly, maybe I'll have to come next week if you win the grand final and check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, it is going to be a special day. Now, just a reminder to people as well, there are no pre-sale tickets for the grand final this year, only gate sales when you rock up to North Hobart. So make sure you get out there and support all the teams. But Lockie Watt, senior men's coach of Signet, well done on the team performances so far. We wish you very well on Saturday against Huonville. Good to have you with us. Thank you. Lockie Watt joining us, senior men's coach for the Signet Football Club. Great to have him with us on the show. Quick break. Women's footy, that's coming up next.
HST Tree Specialists. We are the industry leaders in vegetation management in Tasmania. Our services include tree solutions, hazardous vegetation removal, and project consultations. We are committed to eliminating vegetation-based risk in Tasmania while being sensitive to environmental impact, with a strong focus on health and safety practices. And from large-scale government and commercial projects, small private arboriculture jobs, and equipment hire, MyTas recommends HST.
Welcome back. Well, Claremont are going to enter the SFL Community League Senior Women's Grand Final as a hot favourite when they take on Hutchins in this Saturday's Premiership decider at North Hobart Oval. They are the reigning premiers. We've got a pic here of their team. They have not lost a game this season. They have a percentage, get this, of 2,676%. Now, Kelly Smith is the co-captain of Claremont and has been good enough to join us during a lunch hour at the Commonwealth Bank. Now, I worked with them for years, and I know you're on your lunch hour, so we do not want to take up too much of your time, Kelly, so we thank you for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Now, it has been obviously another fantastic season for the side. Winning the premiership last year, you only dropped the one game. And how's the side feeling ahead of this Saturday against Hutchins? It's always a special day, grand final day, particularly when you get to play at North Hobart.
Yeah, look, everyone is definitely super excited. We had our last training session last night and the vibes were definitely high, but I think it sort of gets to this point where everyone just gets a little bit itchy. The waiting around isn't always that fun, so we're sort of just keen to get out there on Saturday and get stuck into it, really. But yeah, no, definitely vibes are high. We've got a few girls who've obviously been there before, but then some new ones that haven't maybe had the experience. So we're just, trying to get around them and make it exciting for them too.
Brilliant. That's what it's all about now. As I said earlier, you are undefeated, but you won the second semi against Hutchins by just a goal. So I'm sure there is not a hint of overconfidence ahead of Saturday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've been a great side all year and they've definitely brought it to us. There was definitely a few things that we took away out of that final that we need to work on. There was a few aspects of our game that we didn't play at our best or as we would like to. So, definitely taking those away. But I think regardless of, what happens there, it will be a tight match on Saturday. It should definitely make for a good watch for everyone out and around the grounds, that's for sure.
Now, the game gets underway at 1:10 on Saturday, the women's grand final at North Hobart Oval against Hutchins, as we mentioned. Now, the side won the premiership last season, also in 2023. You've had prolonged success. What is special about this side and the Claremont Football Club?
Yeah, look, I had a bit of a think about this before, and I think honestly it really just comes down to two things, mainly the culture that we've kind of built there, but then also the consistency. So I started with Claremont the year after they started their
Yep.
women's program, so I've sort of been there since the start, and definitely have seen over the years the way that they've built on that culture, especially within the women's department. We've obviously had some very good coaches coming along the way. It started off with Brendan Bryars. We then had the likes of Sandy Eaton and Diana Lynch, which I'm sure everyone in women's football world in Tassie knows a lot about them. And then obviously now we've got our Craig, Cam and Bruce as well. So, across the years, we've been very lucky and fortunate in that sense. And I think the other thing, to remember too is that consistency. We've had the same core group of players now for 5+ years. So obviously, once you start to play with people for that long, you learn a lot about them. We know a lot about each other. And yes, we've had, new players come in here and there, but that core group of players have sort of been there over many, many years now. And yeah, we're just kind of able to help, keep that consistency and keep that going.
Yeah, great summary, because it's certainly been everyone in women's football and who follows it around the state has certainly been able to see that happening over the last few years. But also, we're going to pop up a slide because no doubt we want plenty of your supporters to get out tomorrow night as well, because your under-18 girls are going to be in the preliminary final down at the Twin Ovals against Kingborough. This is at 6:15, so everyone knock off work. They can head down the highway and see this game. So how good is it to see that the next core group of players that you hope to represent the seniors, your under-18s, are doing really well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really special to sort of have that coming through. Mel and Rach, the two coaches, have done a wonderful job with those girls this year. And yeah, it's really exciting to see that you've got that pathway coming through. It's something I think a lot of clubs strive to have or build. And so, yeah, we're extremely lucky. Rach and Mel are both within our senior team as well. So I think from that pathway perspective, it just really gives them a good, I guess, vision of where they can be or what they can get to if they keep going as well.
Certainly a great pathway, and particularly with the VFL and VFLW getting underway, there's this pathway for all the talented boys and girls and men and women in footy right around Tasmania. Kelly Smith, co-captain of the Claremont Footy Club, great to have you with us. Thank you for taking some time out of work and your lunch hour. Hopefully we haven't taken up too much of your time, but thank you for being a part of the show, and good luck on Saturday down at North Hobart Oval. Should be a great day.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me, guys. Again, a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Great to have you with us. Thank you very much. That's Kelly Smith, co-captain of Claremont, joining us. Just before we go to the break, just on the SFL, it is the preliminary finals in the Premier League as well this weekend. It's on Sunday because we've got the Community League Grand Finals happening on the Saturday. So just remember, North Hobart Oval on Sunday, under 18 boys at 9 a.m. Clarence taking on Kingborough. Then we got the senior women at 11. Should be a beauty between Clarence and North Hobart. The Roos are in action all day. They got the senior men game against North Hobart at 1 p.m. and then at 3:45 it is the reserves match, Clarence and Lauderdale. So that's your SFL preliminary Premier League preliminary final fix on Sunday. We're going to take a quick break. Peter Gutman, the president of the NTFA, he's going to join us next. Massive weekend getting underway tomorrow night with the NTFA Women's Grand Final. That's next.
For 30 years, DLN Machinery has kept Tasmania's construction industry moving. As the sole Tasmanian distributors of Kobelco, ASV Positrax and Merlot telehandlers, we offer trusted sales, parts and service with locations in Launceston and Hobart. From excavators to telehandlers, routine maintenance to field repairs, our skilled team has you covered wherever the job takes you. DLN Machinery. Local, reliable, ready when you need us. Get in touch today.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, it is a massive weekend of football coming up. We've covered plenty in the show already, but it all gets underway this Friday night for the NTFA. It is the Division 1 Women's Grand Final. Packed weekend, grand finals on Saturday, preliminary finals, of course, in the Premier League as well. So who better than to get the president of the NTFA, Peter Gutman, to join us on the show. Peter, nice to see you.
Rick, nice to be here.
Well, big week.
This is a gala weekend of football. It is led off by the women on Friday night. There's a football feast, and we've still got a Premier League preliminary final going on as well.
We have. We'll get to that shortly, but you gone on with the Division 1 Women's Grand Final tomorrow night. It's a standalone game, Friday night football. And for those who may not have seen Bridgenorth and Old Scotch, they're two very good sides that were obviously in the Premier League last year. This should be a beauty. It actually could be one of the real highlights of the weekend.
Look, I think that no better way than to kick off what will be a big weekend of football with this women's game. Bridgenorth, Old Scotch, they are going to go hard at it, and it will be a great game of football to watch. It really will be.
Yeah, it should be an absolute beauty. So it is a standalone game. 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Gate 3 is the entry. There's the details on your screen. And it's just $5. I mean, that's great value to come along and watch two great teams playing off tomorrow. Bridgenorth, of course, the reigning premiers as well from the NTFA last year. But that is going to be a good value night.
Look, it will be. And, with the ground redevelopment, there'll be food and beverages there. Importantly, when you come into the ground, find your seat. I understand Old Scotch are going to be sitting up in the Carlton United Brewery stand, so head up to the CUB. But you can also access the Western stand through the rear as well, and there's some great seats.
Well, it's a good segue because for people driving past, there's a fair bit going on at UTAS Stadium at the moment. What, if any, impact could that have this weekend?
Well, the beaut thing is we've got 12,500 seats available, which will be more than enough. I expect 5,000 to 7,000 people will come through the gate. Beaut thing is that we've got seats right around the ground. The lower part of the Western stand, there are some seats that won't be there, but there's about 700 that sit in that lower section. All of the upper sections available. Eastern wing is open as well. So get to the ground, spread out. I did say yesterday, and it's an important point, sometimes all the cheering happens on the western side. For Saturday, I'm hoping that we can see people right around the bowl.
Brilliant. That'll be fantastic. And it is just a quick reminder before we head to Saturday's action. So it's gate 3 only is the entry for tomorrow, and it's $5. But on Saturday, gate 3 and 10 for the NTFA Division 1 Grand Finals again at UTES Stadium. Bumper day kicking off at 9:25. Details will come up on your screen with what's happening. So we've got the Division 2 reserves, Peter, kicking us off at 9:25, and that'll be followed by the Div 1 reserves between Bridgenorth and Rochalee. Now, we've got the senior grand finals, 2 of them happening in the afternoon at 2:05. It's East Coast versus Perth. And then at 5 o'clock, the Div 1 grand final between Rochalee and Hillwood. So, huge day. It's going to be a beauty, isn't it? 4 great games.
There'll be 4 great games. These clubs have been close right through the year. Now, obviously, some people will point to Rochalee and say that they have been the standout. But look, in a grand final, put 22 people on the ground, and anything can happen. And Hillwood, they are coming.
And look, I'll tell you what as well, there's these 2 sides actually played off in the grand final in the Premier League only a couple of years ago. There's still some great players in that side for Hillwood who were part of that day. So there's a lot of experience there. I love this. Perth, and this is where anything can happen in footy. Perth, undefeated all year, Peter, as you know, in the home and away season. They got beaten in that first final by East Coast. They redeemed themselves in, from all reports, an absolutely cracking preliminary final down at Campbelltown. And on that, you must be thrilled with Campbelltown. I mean, they've had to basically build a second team to have reserves. But for them to host a final and be so successful on the ground, the NTFA must be ecstatic.
Look, really pleased. Liz Weber and her team have stood up. They really have. And the guys at the game on Saturday, it was a beauty. And they almost got Perth.
Did.
They almost got Perth. So, look, she's done a fantastic job with that club over the course of the year. And a shout out to all of the volunteers and the people who've made that happen.
Absolutely. Now, with Perth, I like this because they have not won a grand final in, I think it's just over 3 decades, late 1980s, early 1990s. So Perth Primary School, the kids have got together, Peter, and we might just take a look at what they've done.
Our whole school wishes you good luck for this grand final.
I
hope you kick straight.
We hope you tackle hard.
On behalf of Perth Primary School, we'd like to wish the reserves and seniors from the Perth Footy Club the best of luck for their grand final.
How good's that?
That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. And I think that little town of Perth is getting right behind this club. I was there the other week when they did get beat at home. But there were a lot of people there, a lot of local people.
Yeah, brilliant. And the kids will no doubt be there cheering them on this Saturday at UTES Stadium. Of course, the school's right next door to the footy ground as well. So fantastic to see. So that is Saturday, Div 1 Grand Finals. Make sure you get along because it is going to be a sensational day. But I don't know how you're going to get to all the games. You're going to have to choose some here, I think, Peter, because also on Saturday, I've got the preliminary finals of the Premier League across the river at Windsor Park.
But we have Launceston v South Launceston in the main game, and that will be a beauty. Both of those sides have stepped up this year. Both of them have closed the gap, both not only just on each other, but also in terms of North. So it's going to be a great weekend of footy.
My word. We'll show the details of what's coming up because it will be a big day. Launceston taking on Old Scotch in the under-18s at 9:25. Then the Rezzies between the rivals Launceston and North. The senior women game, Deloraine have had a sensational year. Gee, they've been good and impressed me. They're building all the time. That'll be a beauty. And South Launceston, you touched on them. We saw them last weekend up at Longford. Tough conditions, but the Bulldogs, to me, are the side, if you look at clubs that have improved throughout the course of the season, probably improved the most. They're not without a chance.
Look, they have been closing the gap all year. Now, it's always better, I think, in life to be the hunter rather than the hunted. North's definitely the hunted. There's no two ways about that. And Launceston have been after them, but South have been after both of them. And they've closed the gap. That last match at Windsor Park, they had Launceston for 3 quarters.
They did.
They did.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow, on Saturday, it'll be fascinating.
So that's at 3:15, the opening bounce for that game between Launceston and South. The winner, of course, to take on North Launceston in the grand final next Saturday at UTAS Stadium. Now, this is exciting news. Scottsdale have been, probably not treated with respect in some areas during the course of the year, but they have been working their backsides off, particularly now the season's over. A great announcement this week, and people will see, for those who haven't heard, Daniel Rich, of course, decorated career, former All-Australian with the Brisbane Lions, of course. This is a huge signing, 275 games, number 7 draft pick back in 2008, but not just making a one-off appearance, minimum 5 games and finals if they do it. How good is this for the club? What does that do?
Look, this is the shot in the arm that Scottsdale needed. They've been working hard all through the course of the year. And what I hope this will do is provide a magnet for other players to wrap themselves around, to be attracted to and to join the club. That club has got a proud history. Daniel Rich now gives them an opportunity to reframe their history moving forward as well. Yeah,
it's really exciting. So something to really look forward to, and obviously it's great for the township and the surrounding area as well. So we look forward to seeing Daniel down here. Now, to just in case people haven't got enough of a football fix over the course of the weekend, Peter, NTFA Division 1 and 2 Best and Fairest is going to be live streamed this Sunday. Details on the screen. We've got 5 of them, so 1 o'clock. That's going to be a terrific afternoon.
Look, it will be, and I know that there are a lot of clubs that actually build a Sunday afternoon around this, and that have a lot of fun, let off a bit of steam as well. But it's fantastic, and really looking forward to it. There's some fantastic players that are going to be decorated.
My word. The way that this happens, it's actually interesting because we obviously see a lot of live counts at dinners, etc. But this is a way where all the teammates, the supporters, the fans can actually get to the club rooms and be there, have a bit of fun, cheer on their favourites from their club. But also, it's a great opportunity for the club to actually make some revenue out of it, as well as having a great weekend.
Look, it is, and I think the format. Some people do like the dinner and the big gala event, but clubs have bought into this in recent years, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the clubs over the course of the afternoon, and importantly for the volunteers and the supporters as well to be a part of it.
Well, it's going to be a great, we almost called it a long weekend because it kicks off on Friday night, but it's going to be a super weekend. Good luck to you and the team at the NTFA. It's always a fantastic weekend, grand final. Then we're going to do it all again next week, of course, but thanks for coming on. Well done to you and the team. It's been a big year.
Look,
how have you found it in first year of being president? Is it what have you? Has it met your expectations? What have you enjoyed about it? What's challenged you?
Look, when I was premier, I thought I understood what life and death was. Now I'm involved in local footy. Believe me, I understand exactly what life and death is all about. Look, it's been brilliant. The 22 presidents, I've enjoyed working with all of them. Importantly, I've enjoyed seeing the growth that clubs, all clubs, have had this year. And importantly, what we'll see, I think, is a stronger NTFA moving forward.
My word, a lot to look forward to in 2026. Peter Gutman, President of the NTFA, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Rick, thanks very much.
That is Peter Gutman joining us, President of the NTFA. So that concludes a huge show, but we're going to do it one more time next week. We're going to feature the NTFA Grand Finals, of course, in the Premier League. Plenty of others, of course. SFL, NWFL Grand Finals are happening. Don't forget, this weekend as well, the Darwin Football Association Premiers are going to be taking on the NWFA Premiers in the Country Cup, and guest umpire Razor Ray Chamberlain is going to be actually officiating that game. So get on down to Ulverston if you can for that. You're down the Northwest Coast. But thanks for your company. We'll see you next Thursday.